What's up guys, Chris here and welcome to a new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video. And it's been a week since Call of Duty Advanced Warfare came out, so I thought we'd talk about the gun Bell Ends. Get it? The Bell Ends, because the Bell 27 is so powerful. No? Nobody? Oh, come on guys, it was right there. So today I got a 34-2 gameplay for you guys on the map Instinct with the Bell 27, an absolutely insane gun as I mentioned. I hate the map and somehow I got this gameplay. I got 3 Warbirds and they were shitty, but it is what it is. Let's just get right into talking about the gun balance. So starting off with the assault rifles, there is no doubt that the Bell 27 needs a nerf, but let's just talk about the assault rifles in general. I'd say all of the assault rifles should have a slight decrease in range, simply to make the submachine guns more viable. But the Bell 27 in particular should have a little more recoil when the grip is attached to it, and maybe a slight damage reduction. Right now it kills faster than submachine guns in close quarters, and it really shouldn't be that way. And it's even a laser beam when you put a grip on it, meaning it's basically a god gun at all distances. It really shouldn't be this way. This is a short range assault rifle, and there's no doubt that it should be good in close range, but it shouldn't outperform SMGs, as well as it shouldn't outperform the longer range assault rifles at long range. Moving on to the AK-12, I think this should simply have a slight increase in recoil. The ARX may need a slight buff, to be completely honest. The ARX may need a slight buff in all honesty, just a slight decrease in burst delay. The HBR, the IMR and the Mark 14 are all very balanced in my opinion. The IMR is probably one of the best guns in the game, but it's not so horribly unbalanced that everybody is using it and it's getting abused. Also it kills a lot slower in close quarters than for instance the Bell 27. Moving on to the SMGs, I think these should all have a buff in their range. Anything outside of ultra close quarters, they're basically useless, and in a game where all the maps are fairly large, there's really no incentive to use submachine guns. Personally, I love running around with a submachine gun, and my rushing playstyle has completely gone to waste in this game because the submachine guns are so weak. Specifically, I think the MP11 and the SN6 need buffs. The MP11 just seems completely useless, and the SN6 kills very slow in close quarters in comparison to the Bell 27, as it's a 4-shot kill up close. Also, the AMR9 just seems really weak, though I haven't used that gun so much, so I couldn't be able to tell you guys exactly what they should do with it. In general, I think the submachine gun should be a 3-shot kills up close, maybe with the exception of the MP11 as it has the fastest fire rate, as well as the SAC-3. But other than that, a range buff is definitely needed for all of them. For the sniper rifles, I think the Lynx and the NA-45 need buffs. The Moss and the Atlas are both very good, but the Lynx is basically always a 2-shot kill unless you hit them in the head. I think you should at least be able to get a 1-shot kill to the upper chest, as otherwise there is no point to this gun. And talking about guns with no point, the NA-45. You basically can't get a 1-shot kill with this gun and you have to reload every 2 rounds. If you hope to get a kill with this gun, you better hit the second round close to the first one, as otherwise it's completely futile and you won't hit anything, you won't do any damage. At the moment I don't see any point to this gun and I don't know how it could be buffed because it's just so bad. But one thing's for certain, it definitely needs a buff because otherwise I don't see anyone ever using this gun, and as it is right now I think it's probably the worst gun in Call of Duty history. No joke. The shotguns I think all need a slight buff in range. Again, the maps are very large, and the shotguns are fun to use, but they're just not very good. The Tag 19 was supposed to be a really good gun. Obviously we don't want anything like the Remington on the Spas 12 from Modern Warfare 2, but they should at least be viable for people who like to use shotguns. I personally do like to use shotguns, and seeing the shotguns be this bad is just sort of not very nice because I like to use them, but I just can't get kills with them unless it's on a very close quarters map like Green Band. Heavy weapons all seem fairly balanced, of course some are better than others. The EM1 I've heard is extremely overpowered on PC, so please no buffs for this gun. People will just have to use it like it is on console. The XMGs are also quite bad, but they're more of a goofy weapon, and if they get buffed, people will start using them all the time and I think we'll all have a bad time getting sprayed down by these things. Another gun that could need a buff is the EPM3, which I think may need a slight damage buff as it feels pretty weak right now. But I guess it has very low damage at close range because the range is basically unlimited. In terms of perks, I believe there is one perk that needs a slight buff, and that is Gung Ho. And that is because I feel as though this perk doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. I know it only says fire while sprinting and sliding, but when you have your gun up, why wouldn't you be able to aim down sight instantly? I thought this would be like dexterity and ready up, but I just got really disappointed to see that it isn't. Maybe it doesn't need a buff, but I just think it's kind of stupid that you have to go through a little extra animation because you have this perk equipped, and it honestly puts me off more than it helps me sometimes. I'd like to see that fixed. For killstreaks, there is definitely a few that needs changing as well. First of all, the remote turret. Why would you use 550 points to get a turret you have to control yourself? To even make this close to viable, you have to put the sentry attachment on it, and then it's 750 points, and it's just not worth that much. I'd like to see the cost of this score streak reduced by 100 points. Also, the system hack should not have a big black cross across your screen when you get system hacked, because it's just really annoying and it can screw you up in gunfights. One thing is that we can't see our HUDs, but that's totally fine, that's what the score streak is meant to do, but at least let us see what's in front of us, because otherwise this is just really annoying, and I hope to see this nerfed. Another one I think needs buffing a lot is the Warbird. 850 points for a score streak that lasts for 15 seconds and barely gets me more than a kill per Warbird. It's really bad. The guns overheat too quickly and it doesn't last very long. I think either the time needs to be doubled or the gun simply should not overheat. The fact that I've gotten 9 of these and only gotten 12 kills pretty much says it all. Also, I think the Paladin should get a slight buff, but again, the Paladin is actually one of the best score streaks in this game. It's actually one that can get kills with, but the reloading is annoying, no doubt about that, but it is what it is. I'd like to see it buffed, but if it doesn't get buffed, you know, it's still good, it's still a good score streak, and it's actually worth your points. So maybe this shouldn't get buffed, but definitely the Warbird, the system hack, and the remote turret needs buffing and or nerfing. The system hack needs nerfing, no doubt about that. Maybe even the Goliath needs a little bit of a buff because it's quite an expensive score streak, but considering how you can get like 3 to 4 kills with this, and the Warbird only gets around 1 to 2, the Goliath is very good. That's my take on the gun and score streak balancing in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Let me know if you agree down in the comment section below. I'll make sure to check it out on a regular basis and reply to all your comments. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.